It's 5 a.m. in the morning, and there's only one thing to get me up that early. I'm Chef Dan, and I'm almost vegan. Today, I am making a muffin. Look, I'm not a big muffin guy, to be honest with you, but this particular muffin I like because it's a good, like, on-the-go type of thing. I love oatmeal in the morning. I make it of various ways, and it's good for you, and it's a great breakfast. Well, what I've done is I've taken some of the things I like in my oatmeal and put them in a muffin so that you can make these muffins. They freeze pretty well. They refrigerate well. They'll last a while. They can leave them out on the counter for 2-3 days if you want. And you get up in the morning, you make a cup of coffee, or if you make bad coffee like I do, you just grab a muffin and go stop at Dunkin' Donuts, get your coffee or whatever coffee shop you stop at, and you're on your way. So it's a great muffin, healthy. There are some unhealthy aspects to it, but it's mostly healthy. Oatmeal in it, a lot of fiber in it, and let's get started. So, first thing is oatmeal. I use let me get this, show you this. I use this oatmeal. I like the quick oatmeal, cooks in a minute, because it just ensures that the oatmeal will be cooked in the muffin. So, get your oatmeal, and I don't like to use it as the whole oatmeal. I like to grind it up. Put in a food processor, grind it. 1.5 cups ground oatmeal. It looks like a coarse flour. I think it incorporates better into the muffin. It also gives you a better texture in the muffin, more muffiny texture. I think that's great. And you start with your dry ingredients, which is the oatmeal. Need some cinnamon in there. Teaspoon's good. Teaspoon of baking soda, teaspoon of baking powder, and 2 cups of carrots. I like carrots. Carrots will give it some texture, also give it some moisture, and give it a little sweetness. There you go. Just toss your dry ingredients together like such. Okay, and then you put the wet ingredients on the side in a separate bowl. This is called the muffin method. You have your dry ingredients, you're gonna have your wet ingredients, and you're gonna pour your wet ingredients into your dry ingredients, mix them up, and you got it. Okay, so wet ingredients, we have yogurt, Greek yogurt. 1 cup of Greek yogurt. Okay. Honey, and what I do is, I had a little bit of honey, a little secret, I have a little bit of honey in a jar. I had just enough, 1/2 cup of honey. But you can't get all the honey out of the jar. So what you do is you take the jar, put it in the microwave for about 15-30 seconds, the honey gets warm and gets watery. And then you can pour it right out of the jar very easily. So I got 1/2 cup of honey here. This is your sweetener. I buy good honey, I buy raw honey, good stuff. Otherwise, if it's filtered, if it's processed, then you're going to have it's not quite as healthy. And so I like to use a good honey. This is going to give me sweetness of honey, but it's also give me some flavor. So I want a good honey. A couple of eggs. As you can see, this is not a vegan muffin. It's a vegetarian muffin, but it's also, it's pretty healthy. Does it have eggs in it? Yes. Does it have some dairy in it? Yes. And now we're going to add some fat to it, but it's pretty healthy. Here's your fat. This is coconut oil, okay? It comes like this, Costco size, Costco. And I use it often for stuff, so I buy the big size, okay? It's organic, doesn't have to be organic. It's organic, that's fine. Comes solid, looks like a salad. Okay, oh, a little bit fell out. There you go, solid. And what you do is you scoop some out. I put it in a little oven-proof dish, throw it in the microwave and it becomes liquid. And then I use it in the recipe. So this is a half a cup of coconut oil. And coconut oil, listen, it's oil. So you have to be careful in that respect because it's oil. But it's also coconut, so it has some health. It has some health to it. It has some nutrition to it as well. And you see, nice and mixed in. Now, a teaspoon of vanilla. Good. There's your wet ingredients. Here's your dry ingredients. Here's what I call your garnishes. I have some chopped walnuts, half a cup, raisins, half a cup, and there it is. You just take your wet ingredients, put into your dry ingredients. That smells good already. Sometimes you make a batter and you fill the cups, leave a little batter in the bowl. Check it out, like that. Okay, so I kind of fold everything together here. Muffins, you don't want to over mix it. And that's a good, you see it's a good consistency there. It's thick, it's a little thicker than a pancake batter. There we go. Add your raisins, add your walnuts. Careful with walnuts too. If you have a nut allergy, leave the walnuts out, that's fine. But walnuts has a lot of fat in it. It's good, it's got a lot of nutritional stuff in there, but it's also got some fat in there, so be careful, right? If you're really on a fat-free diet, don't have the walnuts. And then you mix everything together, and that's it. Now, how easy was that? Muffin method's great for this. You just taking the wet ingredients, mixing them into the dry ingredients, and you're done. You're done. Okay, oven's preheated on 350 degrees already. I did that before I turned the camera on, so we are set with that. And the muffin pan. I use a non-stick muffin pan, and I use kind of a large muffin pan. So this might make 4 or 6 muffins. We'll see how it works out. If you use a small muffin pan, it's going to make more muffins. This is why when you look at a recipe, you see the recipe, it says makes 8 muffins, makes 12 muffins, makes 36 muffins. It never makes the right amount that says on the recipe because muffin tins are different sizes. This, as all things in my life, I like big sizes. So I like this. I like this muffin pan. It's great. And it's non-stick, which is also nice. But what's also nice is that I take a little bit of cooking oil and I'm going to give it a spray anyway. That's like insurance. Make sure I just want to really make sure I get the corners. If it's going to stick, that's where it's going to stick. Also, because these are a little bit larger muffins, I need to put the oven temperature a little bit lower. So for these muffins, 350 degrees, it's going to take about 30, 35 minutes, maybe even 40 minutes. I'll check them out. In a smaller muffin tin, it might be 375 degrees, could be like 20 or 25 minutes. Okay, so I just use a measuring cup to do this. It makes it a little easier, a little neater. And there we go. Make it neat. Okay. I just give it a bang just to knock all the, if there's any air holes in it, knock the air holes out. And there we go. Okay, in the oven it goes. Gonna be about, I'm gonna set the timer for 30 minutes, probably take about 35 to 40 minutes. But you know, you have to check them and just make sure that they're done. Recipe will say bake for 30 to 35 minutes. Listen, if it's 35 minutes, the timer goes off. You have to check it still, right? If it's not cooked, it's not cooked, put it on for another 5 minutes. Maybe you set the timer for 25 minutes just to check it. After 25 minutes, you say, ooh, it's cooked already. Then take it out, it's okay. Those recipes, the part of the recipe that has the time and the temperature and all that stuff, and the yield, those are approximations. Don't think that that's the law. You have to kind of figure it out as you go along and check things. Okay, so in the oven it goes. The lower third is fine. Right on that rack, right in the middle of the oven. I'm gonna go make some coffee, or attempt to make coffee. If anyone has a good coffee hints, please leave them in the comments, because I make lousy coffee. Anyone who makes their own kind of muffin special, leave them in the comments. Let me know some special ingredient you use. Maybe I'll incorporate into another muffin. It's great. And please subscribe. Please like the recipe. If you like the recipe, click like, subscribe to the channel, and I will see you in about 30 minutes, give or take, because I'm going to check the muffins and make sure that they're done before I take them out. I am back, and the kitchen has this like bakery smell to it. Really good. Smells like morning, smells like sunshine. Okay, so I had these in the oven about 30 minutes. Timer went off. I felt the top. The top should be a little spongy, okay? Felt the top, you pressed it, it didn't really sponge back, put a toothpick in it. Toothpick was a little bit wet, a little bit of wet batter on it. So I put it back in 5 more minutes, checked it, it's fine. Took 35 minutes, it's fine. You'll notice when I take them out that they didn't really rise too much. What happens is that in the beginning, they're gonna rise, and then they're gonna sink back down. The oatmeal doesn't give it the good structure to really rise. It bakes, it rises, and that helps it to bake nicely. And then after it's in the oven a little while, it kind of deflates. Nothing kind of holds it up, because oatmeal is not the same as white flour. That's what. And this is why I love non-stick pans, and give it a little spray in the corners, because please, 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 please come out. Yes. Very good. And this is what comes out. We're gonna let this sit for 10 minutes or so, just to kind of let everything kind of set. And this is what they look like. And you see that it hasn't really risen that much. It is tender inside, but it's also not light and airy. And muffins usually are not a light and airy thing. It's not like a cupcake. Cupcakes is different. Muffin, okay? So I take a deep breath, because I did make a cup of coffee I can have with the muffin. It's not a good cup of coffee. I don't make good coffee, but I did make coffee. Wow, that's awful. But the muffin will make it taste better. What can I tell you? It's nice. It's like tender. It's got what I call like a good crumb. You can see the carrot inside. Nice specks of walnut, and I see a couple of raisins in there. Beautiful. That means everything was mixed together right. The texture's good. It's not like a traditional muffin texture. It's a little bit softer. The taste. First, you get the honey. And I use very good honey. I use what's called Tupelo Honey. Great flavor. And you get that. It's really nice flavor. The rest of the ingredients, the carrots add a little bit of sweetness to it. That's wonderful. And the yogurt adds that little bit of sharpness to it. It's really nice. A little bit of acidity in that yogurt. Beautiful. And of course, the walnuts are rich. So is the coconut oil. Gives it some richness with the fat in it. And the raisins, more sweetness. Wonderful. The oatmeal, you don't get any kind of real flavor. I didn't like toast it or anything to give it flavor. But that's what gives it its structure. And that's where the main health comes from this muffin. And altogether, it's a great, great muffin. Take it with you to work, in the car. Take it for lunch. It's really good. It's going to keep you full for a long time. It's got a lot of fiber in it. It's great stuff. Also, the nuts give it a little bit of crunch. Real nice. That's a good, like, morning kind of health muffin. I don't know if it goes so well with the coffee, because my coffee's not good coffee. Wow, that's awful. I'm gonna take the rest of the muffin. I'm gonna go to Dunkin' Donuts. I'm gonna get myself a good cup of coffee and sit in my car and enjoy the rest of it. Hey, if you like this recipe, try it. Definitely click that like button and subscribe to the channel. Do you have any other ideas? Maybe there's another muffin you want me to kind of fool around with, or another recipe, or you want to tell me about your muffin experience or your morning experience, or if you have a good recipe for a good cup of coffee. Please send me a comment, suggestion, and I will see you at the next video. Oh boy, I'm gonna have some more coffee. Ooh. See you next time.